Today we are making these mini sugar cookie conversation hearts, a classic for Valentine's Day, depending on when you're watching. Let's get started. Alright guys, here's a quick look at some of our ingredients for our cookie batter. We'll go over them in more detail in a sec. Into a large bowl, we'll add 1 cup of softened room temperature butter, 1½ cups powdered sugar. And with a hand mixer, we'll start working this on low speed to avoid a blowout. Once our butter starts to crumble, we're going to add in 1 egg, a teaspoon of vanilla, and we'll mix this all together. Then we'll stop and we'll add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And while we're mixing slowly, we're going to add in 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. And we're going to mix that up until well combined. Lastly, I'm going to give this another few stirs with a rubber spatula just to make sure all the flour in the bottom is mixed in. Then we're going to cover this with some wax paper and refrigerate this for 2 to 3 hours. Next, we'll flour down our work surface. Add a little flour to our rolling pin. Get our dough down, and we're going to start rolling this out. And it might be a little hard at first, especially since this just came right out the fridge, but the more you start working it, eventually it'll all come together. So we're going to roll our dough out about 1/4 inch thick. Then we're going to get out our heart-shaped cookie cutter, and I'm going to use the 1-inch cookie cutter. So we'll cut all of our cookies out, starting at any corner or edge and working our way to the middle and eventually the opposite side. And once we have a tray full, we're going to bake them at 375 degrees for 6 to 8 minutes until the edges are firm and lightly brown. And once you're all out of space to cut more cookies, we're going to re-ball our dough, re-roll it, and cut even more cookies out. In total, you should get about 100 to 200 cookies. Once all of our cookies are baked, we're going to let them cool on these racks for about 20 to 30 minutes before icing them. And by my count from one batch, we got about 200 or so cookies, but who's counting? Alright guys, for our next step, you're going to need a pack of food coloring, 2 containers of vanilla frosting, and of course, you could make your own, but to save time and money, I'm going to use the store-bought, and a pack of decorating pens, which are optional. And you're going to want to plan out the colors that you're going to want to do. So to start out, we're going to take about 1/3 cup of our frosting and place it into a microwave safe bowl. Then we're going to microwave this for 30 seconds until it's thin enough to pour. For my first batch, I'm going to do white, so I'm not going to be adding any coloring. Then, working quickly, we're going to place a hard cookie in our frosting and toss it and roll it in the frosting using 2 forks. Then, we're going to let the excess drain off and then place it on a rack to dry. So since I have about 200 cookies, we're going to be doing about 20 cookies per color. So we're going to repeat these steps for every batch. So for every new batch, we're going to repeat the same steps, adding 1/3 cup of frosting to a bowl, microwaving for 30 seconds, adding our food coloring, dip, roll, drain, and repeat. Okay everyone, after 2 days, we're finally done. All 200 of our cookies are coated, and here's a look at some of the colors I went with. After that, we'll decorate some of them. And now we're going to take our decorative pens and decorate. Make some designs, write little messages, get creative. I mean, really, here, your imagination really is the limit. And here's the conclusion to this video. These were long and tedious to make, and took about 2 days from start to finish. Would I recommend anyone make these? Yeah, they were delicious, and they look amazing, but keep that in mind. Okay guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video if you do. Thanks for watching.